right, good evening, everybody, and welcome into severe weather coverage here for a severe thunderstorm warning in southern Franklin County. If you would ask me earlier today what I'll be doing at 7:45 p.m., my probably one of the answers would not have got gave is that is doing severe weather coverage, but here we are. Okay, so we are live here for a severe thunderstorm warning. So here's kind of our area that's under this warning here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in to um, some of the communities here, and again, this is for southern or southeastern or southwestern Franklin County, southwestern Franklin County. So we're talking Neal, Mount Carmel, Huntland, Beans Creek, Hickory Grove, Coptown, Three Forks, and Keith Springs are all included in this severe thunderstorm warning for um, for some large hail here. So here's our thunderstorm. It is between Hazel Green and New Market here in Franklin or in Madison County, Alabama, excuse me, right outside of Huntsville. And you see these black colors here showing up on the map from Keys Mill over to New Market here along Winchester Road in Madison County, Alabama. Those black colors indicate we're having some quarter, maybe even golf ball sized hail here. A very strong thunderstorm to say the least. And we do have four lightning strikes here with this thunderstorm. But I'll be honest, this was not expected. We weren't really expecting any thunderstorms today at all. But or at least this evening, we thought that everything was going to stay kind of south of our area. And we can see there's a lot of thunderstorms down here in north central Alabama from Birmingham down toward or up to Huntsville. And then you just have these two up here all by themselves, and they're moving off towards the north and east. If we loop this over the past, let's do the past 15 minutes here, you'll see how they're moving off towards the north and east. Why is that? These are called left-moving supercells, okay? Left-moving supercells deviate from the normal storm motion. The normal storm motions today have been out of or towards the south and east, and we can see that here at Gadsden, a storm outside of Gadsden moving off towards the south and east. And you can see all of these storms down here into central Alabama are moving south and east. But the ones up here, they're moving northeast. Okay, they're moving up north and east, and that's because they're left-moving supercells. Left-moving supercells are notorious for producing hail and kind of weird storm motions, just kind of weird stuff like we have going on here right now. And the weather service has put out a severe thunderstorm warning here. Now I know some folks are saying, well, I could see the moon outside. I mean, there's nothing going on, and that's true for a lot of you. There's nothing going on, and honestly, there's nothing going on right now anywhere in our area outside of the severe thunderstorm warning that we have here for southern Franklin County. If you're in Columbia, Spring Hill, Shelbyville, Lewisburg, Manchester, Altamont, Tullahoma, not much going on, and I don't expect much to go on this evening. I think this is going to be a southern Franklin County threat here with this severe thunderstorm. And of course, I'll be watching this one too on the other side of Elkton, Tennessee, and Giles County, because that could try to sweep up this way, but I'm not overly concerned about that right now. Now, of course, I had some folks there were some folks in my comments saying, "Hey, it ain't going to hit Franklin County," all that stuff. And understand where you're coming from. I wasn't expecting thunderstorms today, but we have a severe thunderstorm warning out for Franklin County. So that's why I'm live. Anytime there's a severe thunderstorm warning in place for one of the counties I cover, I do a live stream. I don't care if if the storm is still 30 minutes away or if it's right on top of us. I'm going to do a live stream because at the end of the day, that's what people want to see when they're in the path of the storm. They want a meteorologist to help them through it and be able to watch this. I think is a big deal. So with that being said, we're going to track this severe thunderstorm producing some hail as it pushes north and east into our area. Now, like I said, I'm aware that some of us aren't going to get anything out of this, and that's fine. But there is a severe thunderstorm warning in place, and that's why I put out the post earlier. And apparently, that's why some people were mad at me saying it was going to stay south of us when it's very clearly moving northeast towards our area. But anyway, let's go ahead here and look at some of the storm reports that we have from this storm off towards the south and east, if there is any, or south and west. And looks like we have one hailstone report here of 1 inch. So that would be quarter sized hail. That is severe criteria hailstones. So that is right outside of Harvest, Alabama, in Limestone County. And then there's also another report here in Athens of a 1 inch sized hail. So this was as the storm was coming through further towards the west, we were getting some pretty good hail reports across the region. So let's go ahead and look at hold on, I need to find it. 1 hour hail. Yeah, let's look at the hail swaths over the past hour here. So this is showing where the radar thinks there has been hail that has fallen in a thunderstorm and where it has fallen at. And you can see here, this storm has dropped some pretty good sized hail all the way up through into um, a good portion of Madison County and is eventually going to come up into southern Franklin County as well. And then, of course, there's this other storm in Giles County that is producing hail right now as well. So this is kind of what we're watching right now is just two rogue thunderstorms here that were not expected, but we're watching them and we're keeping a close eye on them here this evening. So one thing I do want to check on. Let's see how we're going to look at how tall this thunderstorm is here. So let's go. All right. I had that from earlier here. I'm still learning this software, so it'll take me a little bit. But we're going to look and see how tall this thunderstorm is. So we just took a 3D scan of this thunderstorm, and I'm going to zoom in here on our thunderstorm cloud. And we can see that this, our thunderstorm, which is the one behind, it's this one right here, is about 30,000 feet tall. It comes up to about that yellow line right there. And that's 30,000 feet. Okay, so that's how tall this thunderstorm is. It's not overly tall, but it is fairly tall for, what we get, around here this time of year, especially in the wintertime, we get shallower thunderstorms. But all that pink, you see all that pink there? That is a large, potentially a large hail that is suspended within this thunderstorm, and it is coming over New Market right now. I mean, if you go down into Elora anytime at all during the day out of Franklin County, then you know that New Market is not that far away from you there. I used to go to school in New Market, or I used to go to school in Huntsville, and I would come through New Market sometimes. So, I mean, I understand that, this thunderstorm is not very far from. Southern Franklin County at all, and that's why I'm live. We want to make sure that we're live and giving the folks in Franklin County the same type of coverage that I would give for any other county if this storm is going on in. So I am going to turn this off if I can. Let's see. Yeah, it'll take me a minute. All right, that's not what I wanted to do. Yes, it is. Okay, there we go. There we go. So now we're back to the 2D view here of the two thunderstorms. So we have this severe thunderstorm warning for Franklin County until 8:45 p.m. So we have another pretty good while here with this severe thunderstorm, and we have about 7 strikes of lightning here. Those white colors indicate positive lightning strikes. So those are occurring there just outside of Franklin County. If you're in Huntland, you're probably hearing thunder, seeing flashes of lightning off in the distance, and you're going to be the first up to see this thunderstorm, okay? So let's go ahead and do a storm track on this. Now, like I said, this thunderstorm isn't going to impact a lot of us here in our area, but still, folks in southern Franklin County need to be watching out here over the next couple minutes for this potentially severe thunderstorm with large hail moving in, okay? So let's go ahead here and look at the storm track, and we'll bring this out. And let me see how. I didn't see how fast the storm was moving. Okay, Franklin, Alabama. Here we go. All right. I'm looking at the text to see how fast. Okay, it's moving east at 25 miles per hour. So it's moving a little bit more northeast, but it's moving at 25 miles an hour. So this is kind of the generalized direction that it's heading, and we'll see here. So it has Roseboro, that's in Madison County, but we have Mount Carmel in Franklin County at 8:18 p.m. Coptown at 8:23 p.m. is where we're kind of watching this current severe thunderstorm warning. So now we have a new severe thunderstorm warning. Yay! Let's get this party going here. So we have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Moore County as well. So Moore County is now included in a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're already live here. So just hop on in if you want to. But we have a new severe thunderstorm warning here for Lincoln and Moore County, and this is for this particular severe thunderstorm over here in Elkton that is pushing off towards the north and the east. Okay, so we have two separate severe thunderstorm warnings in effect now: one for Moore County and then one for southern Franklin County as well. Okay, and Huntland is kind of right there in the middle. You're actually in both of the severe thunderstorm warning polygons here. So just a lot of strange things happening tonight, but we are live, and we're gonna watch it here and get through it together. So this will be this will be really interesting here to see how this plays out over the next little bit. I'm going to check and see if my severe thunderstorm warning stuff is going out correctly. Yes, okay. Yeah. So anyway, let's get back to it here and talk about this storm. So again, we have two severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. I'm going to talk about severe thunderstorm warning number one first. Okay, this is severe thunderstorm warning number one that is in effect here for southern Franklin County. Okay, including Huntland in this severe thunderstorm warning to the south. And if you have anyone that's in Franklin County that doesn't follow me yet, just send this off to them, share it in a group in Franklin County, something, just let people know, because this is probably going to catch some people off guard, because it's catching me off guard too, to be honest. Because I was not expecting to be here doing severe weather coverage tonight, but here we are. So anyway, this is severe thunderstorm number one, okay? And this is pushing off towards the north and east at 25 miles per hour. And I would assume that other one there that's warned for is also doing the same thing. But this is going to come probably just south of Huntland into remote areas on top of the Cumberland Plateau in Franklin County. So Keith Springs Mountain, places along State Route 16. This is where I'm talking about here for severe thunderstorm number one, okay? Severe thunderstorm number two is located in Elkton, which is in Giles County along I-65. And this thunderstorm is a part of severe thunderstorm warning number two, okay? So we have severe thunderstorm warning number two, and that is in effect for Lincoln and Moore County, okay? And let's go ahead here and see. This one will expire at 9 o'clock p.m. for Lincoln and Moore County, and then we have 8:45 here for southern Franklin County. So Lincoln and Moore County, you have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here until 9 p.m. and then 8:45 p.m. for our friends in southern Franklin County, including Huntland. Okay, so just wide view here, the storm has not reached our area just yet. So that's why I haven't, I'm not really talking about all that much right this moment, because the storm still hasn't got here yet. But we'll be able to do this street by street here very soon once this storm gets into our area. Okay. And I have noticed that lightning is starting to uptick on this storm, which may mean that we're starting to strengthen a little bit. And those in just south of Huntland need to be prepared here for potentially some quarter-sized hail and gusty winds as well. And we'll look at the gusty winds here. I don't think that there is. So if we look here at the severe weather threats with this thunderstorm, we're looking at the radar thinks there's 3+ inch size hail of ongoing with this storm coming out of Madison County, Alabama, into southern Franklin County. So, very large hail is possible here. I think that's a little on the high end, but still, we could be looking at some pretty good sized hailstones here coming into southern Franklin County, including Huntland, over the next 10 minutes or so. Okay, so be prepared for some large hail in southern Franklin County over the next little bit, and I'm going to be live through it all to keep you updated on it here as it continues to push through. Okay. And if you feel like you're dreaming right now, so do I. I was not expecting to be here, but here I am live for a severe thunderstorm warning, or two of them now, that is in effect for Franklin and Moore counties in southern Middle Tennessee, which is where I cover. Okay, so we have two severe thunderstorm warnings, two storms that could have large hail up to the size of quarters. Okay, that's kind of the threat we're dealing with right now. There is not a severe weather risk. There never was a severe weather risk in place for today. And really, this afternoon and evening, we weren't expecting storms to push in. But here we are here with two left-moving supercell thunderstorms with the potential for some large hail. Okay. Now let's go ahead and look here at the wind data off of the high top radar just to see. We're not going to see very much of, I don't think, but yeah, I mean, these storms are not windy. There's no wind going on in these thunderstorms, hardly. I mean, you got maybe some 30, 40 mile an hour winds, but that's not anywhere close to being severe. These are not tornadic. Of the atmosphere that we have in place does not support tornadic development. We are just looking at the possibility of some large hail at this time. Okay. So let's go up here into Moore County real quick and take a look just to see how folks are doing up here. And there's nothing going on, obviously, right now. You can see the yellow polygon and the yellow box kind of comes right through the center of Lynchburg here. But anyway, there is a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential of some large hail with this severe thunderstorm that is located over Elkton, Tennessee. But it is something that I'm going to be watching. I think we're going to see a weakening trend over the next little bit here, but I'm still going to keep an eye on it just in case. Let's go ahead and see if there's any more hail reports here with this thunderstorm. And I am getting a new hail report here that this is an eighth of an inch. Okay, so that would be nickel-sized hail, I think. They're right outside of Hazel Green, just to the west of Hazel Green, along US 231 there in northern Madison County, Alabama. So just kind of getting it, gauge an idea of how these thunderstorms are moving, what kind of storms we're getting, what kind of reports we're getting in is always good as they continue to push in. Now, it would be nice if that box would go away. That would be wonderful. Actually, it would make my day. Okay, we'll just do that then. That'll be great. So, anyway, you can tell I'm a little sassy this evening. I apologize. I'm not, I wasn't planning on doing severe weather coverage tonight. So, I'm having to work up the energy to do it here, but we're slowly getting in the severe weather groove here. So, Miss Janice asks about Winchester. What about Winchester? Well, I really think right now this severe thunderstorm here to the south of us is going to stay south of Winchester, which is good news. But I am going to be watching this one. I think this one will actually go north of Winchester, and it probably will end up dying out before we get there, before this severe thunderstorm gets here. But it's something that I'm going to be watching over the next little bit as we continue to keep an eye on things. But this is the only severe thunderstorm warnings that we have in Tennessee, and actually, this is our first severe thunderstorm warning of the year. Might be in all of Tennessee. Actually, this little severe thunderstorm warning right here might be our first of the year in Tennessee. Period. But in Southern Tennessee, especially, this is the first time we've really talked about severe weather. At least this year in 2026. So just keeping an eye on things right now as this severe thunderstorm warning continues to push in. I'll do another storm track here real quick just to see how this is moving. And this is a very small corridor of really big hailstones. I think is just a really small corridor here. But Coptown, you have 823, the walls of Jericho, right along U.S. Or State Route 16 there, just south of the Tennessee state line into Alabama. 8:35 p.m. and Three Forks on Keith Springs Mountain there at 8:35 p.m. is what I currently have in terms of timing for this severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, so we're still just kind of waiting for this storm to come on in Coptown. You have just a couple minutes here before this storm gets into you, and you can see the lightning is really starting to pick up here into southern Franklin County. Okay, so Francisco Road, talking about your area, likely going to be seeing some quarter, maybe golf ball sized hail even over the next little bit. So keep that in mind that we are watching the chance for some large hail over the next little bit here. Okay. Tullahoma, I do not expect this particular this particular severe thunderstorm to get to you. It'll stay well south of Tullahoma, and I'm not sure about this one, but I'm thinking it's probably going to end up dissipating because right now, if we look at let's look at the Shelbyville camera here. I think that we might be yeah, we're at 50 degrees. I mean, you can't have severe weather, severe thunderstorms at 50 degrees very often. So I would say that we're pretty good in this regard, you know, in terms of a severe weather threat here locally in Shelbyville and down into Tullahoma. You know, I think we're good. We're just going to have to watch the far southern portions of our area from Moore County over to Franklin County is where I'm really concerned about a severe weather threat materializing over the next little bit. Okay. We can see the lightning is really picked up here with this thunderstorm into southern Franklin County, and we're at 22 lightning strikes now here in southern Franklin County. So fairly impressive lightning show. 22 strikes, fairly impressive lightning show going on here in southern Franklin County, and so Francisco Road, Coger Lane, Tally Top Trail. Mount Carmel area, Elora Road, Hickory Grove, Beans Creek, Three Forks, Keith Springs, kind of the areas I'm most worried about. The one good thing about this is that, you know, this is a fairly remote part of Franklin County on top of the Cumberland Plateau that this is really going to be impacting the most. But still, we likely are going to have some quarter-sized hail fall in just north of Francisco over into southern Franklin County here. Scenic Hills Road, Coger Lane, Green Hills Lane, White's Gap Road, Hidden Valley Road, places like that in extreme southern Franklin County here is where I'm really expecting some potentially large hail to fall over the next little bit here. I do not see a severe weather threat in Shelbyville and Tullahoma. It's very low, very, very low. We're just going to keep it. This severe thunderstorm warning polygon that they drew from the Huntsville Weather Service is very large. And honestly, it should be more something, you know, along those lines. But of course, in yellow for severe thunderstorm, it's a very large polygon. This is a very small storm. I mean, we're talking about maybe at the most a 5 or 6 mile, you know, area here of really heavy hail and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, so we're zoomed in here on this storm coming into southern Franklin County. So kind of just to get a bearings on where we're at here, here's Huntland, and Keith Springs Mountain is right here. This is State Route 16 is right up here, and into Winchester is right on the other side of the screen here on the north side of the banner is where the southern part of Winchester is. And this is kind of where the worst of the storm is going to be heading towards, right around Coptown, Three Forks area of extreme southern Franklin County. Okay, that's where I'm expecting the worst of the thunderstorm to come in here in the next little bit. Extreme southern Franklin County is where I'm most worried about right now. And please, if you have folks that are in Franklin County, send them my way. More than happy to I'm doing this live stream for folks in Franklin County too. So if you know anyone in Franklin County that wants to tune in, send them my way. I'd be happy to help them out, answer any questions they have, stuff like that. Just keeping an eye on things right now with this severe thunderstorm in southern Franklin County. Southern Franklin County. And then, of course, we do have the severe thunderstorm warning in place for Lynchburg and Moore County as well. But that thunderstorm looks to be on the weakening trend. On the weakening trend over the next little bit here. So the Weather Service did just say that they increased the hail size to half dollar sized hail with this severe thunderstorm in Franklin County, and this is very impressive. I mean, the black shading here is showing where we have some really large hail falling, potentially, greater than quarter sized hail just south of the Franklin County line into northern Alabama. Okay, and that is pushing into Coptown, Francisco, over towards Three Forks and Keith Springs is where I'm most concerned about the potential for some large hail over the next 5 minutes or so. And honestly, the way the lightning is showing up right here, I would go ahead and venture to think that the worst of the storm is kind of right over top of Francisco right now, because of course the radar is scanning, right, and it takes time for the radar picture to update. But if the storm is moving fast enough, then it'll be over areas that are showing that there's no rainfall right now, right? Obviously, and that's kind of the general idea of what's happening here with some of the lightning. You're probably hearing thunder in Winchester, Huntland. You definitely are. You're barely going to miss it there in downtown Huntland with the worst of this storm. But definitely, if you're kind of in the hollers there, right off the Cumberland Plateau and along Francisco Road here in southern Franklin County, be prepared because you're going to have some large hail here fall in just a moment. Thankfully, there's no tornado threat with this. We're not talking about really strong wind gusts, I don't think. This is generally just a strong or severe thunderstorm with large hail. Large hail is the main threat this evening, and this is just a weird night overall because I mean we're talking about hail, which we don't usually talk about around here very often, especially large hail in a supercell type thunderstorm. And I wasn't expecting thunderstorms to begin with today, and then boom, we're talking about them now, and especially this evening, severe or thunderstorms at all weren't expected, and severe weather definitely wasn't expected either. But here we are talking about it, and I'm gonna keep you updated here in southern Franklin County as this storm continues to push off towards the north and the east over the next little bit here. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm gonna change my skits to, or my time of arrival needs to be 25 miles. Oh, not 125. That would be way too fast. Way too fast. Okay. There we go. All right. So now let me, this is the time of arrivals here into some of the locations that are going to be impacted by this as it continues to push off. So we're talking about Anderson, Sherwood, about 9:05 p.m. Around 9 o'clock p.m. for Anderson there in far southern Franklin County. We're talking about potentially in going off Swanee on Highway 53 into, or not 53, but what is that, 56 there into Marion County, Tennessee, talking about around 9:15 for us. So we got another hour or so before this storm even exits Franklin County on the southern side here. But obviously, there is some large hail falling right now in southern Franklin County. So we're talking about White's Gap Road, Hidden Valley Road, Scenic Hills Road, Coger Lane, Francisco Road. Just south of Huntland is where we're seeing some quarter-sized hail, maybe up to golf ball-sized hail falling in some of these areas. And this is extreme southern Franklin County right up against the Alabama state line. I mean, we are super close to the Alabama state line right now as it currently stands here, right? But still, we are seeing some, some folks being impacted by this severe thunderstorm. So that's why we're um, we're keeping a close eye on this storm as it continues to push off towards the north and the east at around 25 miles per hour. I'm gonna check something here. I got to. Okay, very good. All right, just making sure that everything is good on my end here. All right, and thank you all 82 of you for joining in here for this random night of severe thunderstorm warnings that we have ongoing here across the region. These storms are not going to hit Shelbyville. Shelbyville is in the clear for tonight. I can't believe I even had to say that, but I there's no threat of severe weather here. And if we check, let's check the. I'm gonna switch over to a different platform here and show you the HRRR model, which is one of our short range futurecast models. And I mean, it's ridiculous how wrong it was today. Um, Cheryl, I don't think that the storm is going to make it to. It's going to be too far south of Estill Springs. Now, that storm that's in Fayetteville, we'll have to watch. But you see how it has these thunderstorms staying well south of us. I mean, it barely has a drop of rain for a lot of us here with this with Futurecast, and it's just flat out wrong. Which it's going to be warm tomorrow, so that'll be nice. But um, you know, all the data pointed to there not being any thunderstorms today. So the good news is that they're not tornadic and they're not producing a lot of wind. They're it's just a lot of a lot of hail, small hail, maybe some large hail. Winchester, this storm will stay south of you. Okay. Winchester, this storm will stay south of you. So this is kind of let's get our bearings straight here. So here's Franklin County in all of its glory here. This is all of Franklin County, okay? And we are zoomed in here to the way southern part. I mean, southwestern part of Franklin County, as far southwest as you can get. Basically, in Franklin County is where we're kind of dealing with right now. And I know I'm zooming in and out so much here. I'll try to stop that. But that's kind of what we're dealing with here is just this one severe thunderstorm with large hail here ongoing in southern Franklin County. So this would be Hickory Grove, Mount Carmel, Coptown. Coptown, you're about to get hit hard here with this severe thunderstorm. You can see all these black colors. These black colors here and dark purples, that shows we're likely having some large hail, potentially up to quarter sized, falling right against the Franklin County line. Okay, this is directly against the Franklin County line. Okay, is kind of what we're dealing with here. But yeah, I mean, this was unexpected today, but here we are talking about a severe thunderstorm that is in effect here for our area. So it is what it is. But we're here talking about it. I am going to go to. Let me go over to this screen real quick. So if we zoom in here over southern Franklin County, this is kind of a wider view for y'all here that doesn't show my face, but it's a lot bigger view. And I mean, Coptown, you're about to get hit with it here. Tally Top Trail into Coptown Road here. This is one of the hollers going up into between the mountaintops there on the Cumberland Plateau. So very remote area. Not very many people live here, but it still is a at the end of the day, it still is a severe thunderstorm that we're dealing with here for extreme southern Franklin County. Okay, extreme southern Franklin County. Somebody wants to know about Lincoln County, so let's go over here. I'll switch back to this view, and we'll go over here to Lincoln County. Okay, so we have this severe thunderstorm coming through Delrose. I've been to Delrose plenty of times. It's a beautiful, beautiful country out through there, down to Wheelerton as well. Beautiful country down through there. But anyway, there's a severe thunderstorm there with large hail potentially. Where we see the blacks and the pinks here is where we're probably seeing some of that, maybe quarter size, nickel quarter sized hail falling here. And this would be south of US 64. Okay, and this storm is moving off towards the north and the east as well, and will likely come into Fayetteville over the next couple minutes here. So let's go ahead and look. I'm going to do a time of arrival track here on this particular part of the storm coming into Fayetteville, and it looks like Fayetteville is going to get it, between 8:50 and 9 o'clock p.m. Okay, right now is where I see Fayetteville kind of getting in on the worst of the action there. Lewisburg, you're good to go for this evening. Good to go. I'm not going to have any issues there in Lewisburg. It's way too cold, way too chilly in Lewisburg. I was going to see if I could come up. Okay, so here's the temperatures. So this is a temperature map that shows the temperatures of the entire United States. I'm going to turn off the lightning and these alerts for just a second. Just look at the temperatures, okay? So if we go here and check the temperature in Shelbyville, it's 51 degrees. I've never seen a severe thunderstorm at 51 degrees. I don't know if that's even humanly possible. I'm sure it is, but it won't happen very often. Columbia, 51 degrees as well. 50 degrees there in Manchester. Altamont, 51. But watch this as we go further south. 55 degrees in Winchester. It's a little bit warmer. And then Lynchburg, you're at 54. If we go down here to Fayetteville, 56 degrees. So you can see how we have kind of a little boundary set up here with cooler temperatures almost in the 40s off to the north. And then off to the south here, we're still in the 50s, middle 50s, maybe even upper 50s for a few of us. So that shows us that, we still do have a little bit of storm fuel down here in our southern areas from earlier today. And that's what the current storms are kind of eating up right now across the area. So let me go back to the velocity data. Okay, so we're back on the high top radar here, looking off into this storm in Franklin County. Let's do we'll do a 3D scan here of the thunderstorm in Franklin County, and you can see how it's kind of spliced through right now. It's kind of a cool picture, actually. So this is looking 3D, and we're actually splicing through the middle of the thunderstorm with the radar, with this being so close to the radar. So here is where the hail is within the thunderstorm, and it's up around 20,000 feet right now, and you can see there's a lot of hail. There's a lot of hail in this thunderstorm. I don't know if it's very big, but there's a lot of it at least, and that's for sure. And then this storm over here in Fayetteville, same thing. There's a lot of hail. This thunderstorm is about 20,000 feet tall, and we can see the hail core within this thunderstorm very nicely here on this 3D scan. And this is looking off towards the north, okay, with our 3D scan we have here. So that's a really interesting tool that I have access to, that I think is really neat, that you won't see very many other people talk about, or won't be able to do, the 3D view kind of like that. So I think that's fairly interesting. Does anyone have any questions for me about this thunderstorm? I know it's weird we're dealing with this right now, but Coptown, you're right in the middle of it right now. The black colors indicate where we likely have some larger hailstones, potentially quarter, maybe even golf ball sized hail ongoing here in the Coptown area of extreme southern Franklin County. I'd be happy to answer any questions y'all have, as we're just kind of sitting here and letting this thing roll on past us here. and keeping a close eye on the chat room as well, making sure that Tullahoma's going to be all good in Tullahoma. Not much going on there for you. So the Weather Service is saying they're likely going to have to issue another severe thunderstorm warning for southern Franklin County to account for this thunderstorm here coming into or coming through southern Franklin County and will continue to push off towards the east. Now, eventually, this will be going towards Sherwood, Anderson there along State Route 56 there in the holler between Swanee and Stevenson. Okay, so that's kind of the track of this this cell as it continues to push off towards the north and the east. Hey there, Dixie Alley. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're doing good. So let's look over here at this storm too, real quick. I know I'm trying to find stuff to talk about at this point, and I apologize if it's boring or anything, but it is what it is. We're here doing a live stream at 8:30 p.m. when I wasn't expecting to be doing anything this evening, but anyway, we'll look here at this other storm coming through Lincoln County, and again, this has a warning for Moore County. Right, so Moore County is included in this severe thunderstorm warning polygon, especially the far western portion of Franklin County or Moore County. And so let's zoom in here, and you can see this thunderstorm will be in Fayetteville very soon. Okay, so we're talking about maybe the next 15-20 minutes here. This thunderstorm will be moving into Fayetteville. Okay, it's kind of moving off towards the north and the west, or north and east, at 25 miles per hour or so. So we're talking about 8:51 p.m. here for Fayetteville. About 8:50, 8:55 p.m. here for Fayetteville proper is where I'm expecting the worst of the storm to come through. Now, will it continue to keep its strength? I'm not 100% sure. We're just going to have to keep an eye on that and watch the trends and stuff and see how it evolves downstream. But at least for the time being, if you're in Fayetteville, I would be prepared for some hailstones. Okay. Thank you, Miss Kinley. I appreciate it. Okay, Miss Rhonda asks if there's anything to the west we may get overnight. And thankfully, I do not see there is some activity here. You can see between Savannah and Corinth in northern Mississippi, but I don't think that'll reach us. I really don't. Not with the current trends I'm seeing. So I don't expect anything, and especially the further north you are, Columbia, Lewisburg, Shelbyville, Manchester, Altamont. It's going to take a lot to get some thunderstorms up that way, and I just don't think that we're going to have anything like that. But still, if you're in Fayetteville, you have probably 5 or so minutes here before this really strong thunderstorm with the potential for some quarter-sized hail moves in. Okay, so just be prepared. And then let's go over here to southern Franklin County, and the core of this storm is really directly over extreme southern Franklin County here. Here's the state line. Okay. And we're zoomed in now within this portion of the storm might be 2 or 3 miles wide. Okay, so it's very small. It's a very small, compact thunderstorm, but still, there are folks that live out here. Not very many of you, but there are a few of you, so that's why we're live right now. We're keeping an eye on this, making sure everything is, making sure everybody is ready to go. With this severe thunderstorm. So it does look like the Weather Service is going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning off towards the north and the east to, just kind of keep it going here since the hail threat hasn't come down much. It still looks fairly impressive here on our radar. And we can look here at the Barren Threats button. And this one has 3+ inch sized hail, which would be very large, and I don't think it's quite that large. I'm thinking probably more around quarter sized, or around in there somewhere. But that should go to show you that we're this is a strong storm, right? It's a very strong thunderstorm. So let's see if there have been any reports yet. I don't think there have been. Yeah, just outside of Newmarket, there was a report of 1 inch sized hail there in Newmarket, Alabama. So I'm going to check on the chat room, the NWS chat, make sure I haven't missed anything there. Okay. All right, so here's the new severe thunderstorm warning. It just got sent out for Southern Franklin County. Okay, so Southern Franklin County has a new severe thunderstorm warning, and there it is. Just popped up here. You see the yellow on your map kind of expanded here. So this new severe thunderstorm warning goes all the way up into Cowan, includes Swanee, Midway, Bobtown, St. Mary's, Rockledge, Tantallon, Sherwood, down to Anderson, Lakeview, South City along State Route 16, Road Gap Road, Turnpike Road, Sherwood Road, Logging Road, South Pittsburgh Mountain Road. So this is kind of the areas that I'm watching here for this new severe thunderstorm warning. Now, I do want to note that while the severe thunderstorm warning does extend all the way up here, I really think this is going to be more like this kind of track here. Okay, I think it's going to stay south of Cowan and Swanee, but just be aware that we could have at least I'm going to be watching closely in case that severe thunderstorm does kind of creep up into our area there of Cowan and Swanee. Okay, but the main areas I'm concerned about with this particular severe thunderstorm warning will be South City, Lakeview, Sherwood, and Tantallon. Okay, right along the railroad there on a State Route 56 in southern Franklin County. All right. So let me see here. We have it's moving east at 30 miles an hour. So let me do another storm track on this going 30 miles an hour, and we'll track this out. And it's a very small area here for the worst of the storm. But Lakeview, 8:39 p.m. South City, 8:39 p.m. Sherwood, 8:53, and Tantallon at 8:54 p.m. So we have about 20 minutes before it reaches the US 56 corridor there along Sherwood Road at Sherwood, Tantallon down to Anderson. And kind of this black area here is where the worst of the storm is, right? Just kind of in this black zone. And you can see the severe thunderstorm warning is way bigger. I mean, you're talking about huge. So I'm not sure why the polygon is that large, but obviously we're only looking at a very small area of impacts here. South of Winchester, south of Deckard, south of Vestal Springs, south of Tullahoma, south of Nashville. I mean, it's south of a lot of stuff down here in extreme southern Franklin County at this point. Okay. But I'm keeping an eye on it like always. So let's go over here to the Fayetteville storm. Fayetteville's starting to get in on some of the heavier rain right now. Some of the reds and yellows there indicate we're having some of the heavier rainfalls starting to fall. And of course, right off to the west is where the hail is going to be. Okay. So we're talking about maybe potentially up to quarter sized hail. Okay. And coming through Harms and Pearl City right now and coming up on Fayetteville. And then eventually, this is a storm we're going to be watching that could potentially move up into Moore County over the next little bit. But right now, I don't think that we're going to be dealing with a super strong storm by the time it gets to us there in Moore County. But just be aware that, of course, there is a severe thunderstorm warning still in effect and is in effect for another 35 or 25 minutes or so there for Moore and Lincoln counties in southern Middle Tennessee, on top of the very strong hailstorm we have ongoing here coming into Lakeview and South City along a Road Gap Road, State Route 16, and around the walls of Jericho. Kind of that area is where the worst of that thunderstorm is right now. But I don't have any cameras down here, obviously, because we're um, pretty far down to the down south. But there was an interesting report here out of Delrose, which is right here. So inside of Lincoln County, there was a report of golf ball sized hail there in Delrose, right on the outskirts of Lincoln County there. So this thunderstorm that's moving into Fayetteville has been, producing up to golf ball sized hail. So keep that in mind as this thunderstorm continues to push into Fayetteville over the next couple minutes here. And this is for the folks that say, do you cover? Why don't you cover Lincoln County? Why don't you cover Lincoln County? Well, I'm covering it right now. I'm telling you what's going on here. So because I know some of y'all have been talking about that, so trying to help you out with that in with that there in in Lincoln County. So let's look at the heights of estimated time to hit Estill and Tullahoma. So this one, the severe thunderstorm number 2 here, number 2, severe thunderstorm number 2 there in southern Franklin County would in Lincoln County, and moving into Moore County would likely be over the next 30 or 45 minutes or so. Okay. In Estill Springs and Tullahoma, it'd be 45 minutes to an hour probably before it even got close to you. And I really don't think that we're going to be dealing with this thunderstorm very much longer, at least with how strong it is. But there is some large hail moving into Fayetteville right now. You can see downtown Fayetteville, the pinks and the black colors indicate where we could be having some up to quarter-sized hail, okay, moving into Fayetteville right now. Elsewhere, clear. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. But let's move down here into southern Franklin County with this severe thunderstorm with potentially some quarter plus sized hail. So right along Road Gap Road in southern Franklin County, right along State Route 16 is where we're seeing the worst of this thunderstorm right now, potentially up to quarter-sized hail there in southern Franklin County along State Route 16, South City, and Lakeview is where I'm most concerned. Last Stop Road or Last Stop Lane. That's a great name for a road there. Poplar Springs Road and places way down here in southern Franklin County along State Route 16 is where we're seeing the worst of this thunderstorm right now. And just slowly moving off towards the north and the east at 30 miles per hour. So I'll draw this out one more time here, and you can see that this thunderstorm is fairly small, only about 5 miles wide, and the severe thunderstorm warning is very large. Okay, so I've got a lot smaller track here on this severe thunderstorm, but Tantalon along a State Route 56 there between Swanee and Stevenson, Alabama, of 8:55 p.m. for you there in Tantalon. Sherwood 8:54 for you there along State Route 56 and along the CSX Chattanooga subdivision there in southern Franklin County. Kara says that she's in Shelbyville right now and just about to head home and was going to beat the storm. Well, you're going to beat it good. You're going to beat it good, Miss Kara, because we're not going to get anything here in Shelbyville this evening. So you're good to go. You'll beat it just fine. So let's zoom down here into Fayetteville again and look at this thunderstorm. And the The pinks and the blacks there still indicating where we have some hail, potentially up to the size of quarters, pushing through Fayetteville, Harms, just on the west side of Fayetteville, and this will continue to push into further into Fayetteville off of Pulaski Highway. Okay, so kind of coming in off Pulaski Highway, going to go up Lewisburg and Shelbyville highways there, and eventually move up. It's probably going to follow kind of right along Highway 50 up into Lynchburg. But we'll have to see if it continues to maintain its strength as it pushes up into that area. In terms of lightning here, we have 16 lightning strikes in the past 10 minutes or so here with this thunderstorm in southern Franklin County. Now, if you know anything about, the severe weather coverage we do here, then you know that a lot of times, especially in the wintertime, the amount of lightning you have in the thunderstorm helps you know how strong the thunderstorm is. Okay, so if you have more lightning, most likely means your thunderstorm is stronger, right? If it has less lightning, it means the thunderstorm is weaker. It seems like it's not rocket science to figure this stuff out here, but you can see that there's a pretty good amount of lightning with 18 strikes in the past couple moments, cloud to ground strikes especially. So we are seeing some pretty good indications that this storm is still fairly strong here with this severe thunderstorm warning still in place from the National Weather Service. Okay. So, again, this is for southern Franklin County, including Suwannee, Cowan, down into Sherwood and Anderson. Tantalon is kind of the areas that I'm most concerned with right now. Now, on top of this, the National Weather Service in Morristown, Tennessee, has also pushed out a severe thunderstorm warning here for South Pittsburgh, Jasper, in Marion County. Okay, so just on the other side of the mountain here from us in Marion County, they also have a severe thunderstorm warning down there. Okay, but in terms of us here locally, this is what we're dealing with here. So Sherwood, Anderson, Tantalon, you have maybe 5 minutes to get ready for this severe thunderstorm that is pushing in 19 or 20 lightning strikes in the past 5 minutes. So again, we're getting a little uptick in the lightning strikes. May mean that we have a little bit stronger of a thunderstorm there in moving into Tantalon and Sherwood along State Route 56. Okay. And then over here in Fayetteville, got some hail pushing through Fayetteville right now. I don't know if anyone's watching here from Fayetteville, but if you want to give me a report how much or how large the hail is that you're seeing, that would be great. It looks like that it's not fair, or it's probably not that large, at least right now, but still, some of these purple colors here indicate where we could have some pea dime sized hail, and then of course the black colors would indicate where we likely have some up to quarter sized hail falling within the thunderstorm. But let's go back over here to this one and just kind of watch it as it comes on through here. Yeah, there's your report of a golf ball sized hail in Delrose in far eastern Lincoln County, or far western Lincoln County, excuse me. No hail in Fayetteville, Tennessee on Molino Road. I probably didn't say that right, but I appreciate your report there. Mm. Yeah, there's a report here of golf ball sized hail in Lincoln County. Okay. I'm sorry, don't have much to say. I'm trying to come up with stuff to say here. But this severe thunderstorm warning continues until 9:15 here for southeastern Franklin County in our coverage area. And we have about 25 lightning strikes over the past 5 minutes here. And this thunderstorm is coming into Sherwood, Tantalon, right along State Route 56 right now in southern Franklin. Um, or sorry, in southern, southern Franklin County. The, I'll get it right one day. You can tell my tiredness is getting to me now. Um, with tracking this storm, because I've been working all day too on top of this, so it's I was not expecting to be doing this evening. Trying to think if there's anything else we can talk about here. Not much else in the extended forecast. No, we'll just keep with this severe thunderstorm warning here for a couple more minutes. And of course, I'll keep on watching this one over here towards Fayetteville as well, as that one could come into Moore County and potentially become or continue to be severe warned. But we'll just kind of watch that as it gets closer here. I'm gonna, whoops. Hopefully y'all didn't hear a whole bunch of that. Okay, and then I'm gonna. There we go. Leaning back here a little bit now that I can relax. um, so here, just on the other side of Fayetteville, on the north side of Fayetteville, Lewisburg Highway, Highway 431, Shelbyville Highway, getting in on some of the worst of the thunderstorms right now, or worst of the thunderstorm, where we could have, potentially some golf ball or a quarter to golf ball sized hail. And this will continue to push off towards the north and east. And of course, I'm watching it closely as it continues to push off towards Moore County over the next little bit here. But the good news that I'm seeing here with this thunderstorm over southern Franklin County, moving into Sherwood and Tantalon right now, is that there's not as many blacks, showing up in the color palette there, which makes me think that we're kind of losing a little bit of strength. There probably still some quarter-sized stones falling down. Uh, no doubt about that. But I think for the most part, we're slowly starting to lose strength with this thunderstorm. I think we still have a little bit of time to go. So don't quote me as saying that it's the end of the thunderstorm or end of the night altogether, but I think that this thunderstorm is slowly starting to weaken here. So if we look at the hail tracker over the past that is not what I wanted to look at. Hold on. It takes me a minute here to get it pulled up. Yes. So here's the last hour of the hail tracks. Okay, the hail track over the last hour, and you can see these black colors and purple and pink colors. That shows where the hail has fallen, and you can see just a little path there along that severe thunderstorm that we're currently tracking through southeastern Franklin County. Is where the worst of this hailstorm is right now, and it came out of North Alabama, and then you can see over Fayetteville right now as well. They have a pretty good hailstorm moving in there. Just kind of two areas of hail. Two areas of hail. Took The Weather Service took Lincoln County back down to quarter-sized hail due to radar trends they have seen, and then additionally, the Jackson County, Alabama, has been taken out of the warning. But it's not really concerns us. We don't care about Alabama, not really. We do care a little bit about them, but they have their own folks down there to take care of their weather. They don't need us. But this severe thunderstorm warning here is still in effect for western Moore County until 9 o'clock p.m. So this will continue for another 6 or 8 minutes here before this warning ends for Fayetteville and just on the outside of Lynchburg. And we'll see if they decide to continue that warning off towards the east. We'll continue to see. But here I am. We've been live for almost an hour, might be over an hour at this point, due to a severe thunderstorm warning. We have two warnings now. One is in effect for southern or southeastern Franklin County, including Sherwood, Anderson, along State Route 56. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lincoln County and Moore County. And this is for the potential of some large hail. Okay, that's kind of what we're watching right now, is potentially some large hail falling out of these thunderstorms. Now, if you watch my weather snapshot video, if you read my blog today, I did not talk once about a severe weather threat this evening, but we do have, still a severe weather threat, in place across across the area, or at least in the southern part of our area. We have the severe weather moving through with the hail and stuff like that. The further north you go, not expecting very much there, but our southern communities here in Franklin County and portions of Moore County as well are still in this severe weather threat. The good news here with this Fayetteville storm, it looks like it's going down hard. There is no lightning going on with this thunderstorm, and it's lost a lot of its color too. Let's go back. We'll go back 15 minutes, do a loop over 15 minutes. There you go. I mean, you can see how progressively it's slowly starting to die off there, coming up towards the Moore County line. So that's a good trend. I love to see that. Love to see it. But we still have this very strong thunderstorm with the potential for some quarter-sized hail here between Sherwood and Anderson along State Route 56 here. So it'll be any moment here coming up Tantalon and along the railroad there in Sherwood and down Sherwood Road into Anderson Crownover Road. I think that road is still closed down in there. Someone might be able to tell me if it is or not. Last time I was down through there, it was. But anyway, they're replacing a bridge down there on Crownover Road in Anderson. But this generalized vicinity between Tantalon and Sherwood is kind of where we're dealing with the potential for some large hailstones, right up 2/4. These black colors here indicate where we're seeing that potential. But this is a very remote area of Franklin County. We're not talking about very many folks here. Now, there are a couple people, maybe 1,000 or so there in that holler that goes up from Anderson up into Sherwood and up that direction. But overall, where the storm is situated right now, especially the worst of the storm, is definitely in the it's very very low populated area, which of course is why we don't have very many people watching right now. The good news, I have great news to share. The National Weather Service is going to cancel this severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect here for western Moore County and replace it with a special weather statement. Okay. So a special weather statement is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. So we're going to see the severe thunderstorm warning for Moore County go away, and it will be a special weather statement in its place. Okay. A special weather statement in place of the severe thunderstorm warning here for Moore County has just been issued, and we'll see it pop up on the map here in just a second. Potentially, I'm sorry if my thing is like buzzing or something. My phone is going nuts right now. Winchester, not much going on for you there. There's a severe thunderstorm off to your south and east, and there's one off to your west. But This storm over here in Fayetteville is slowly starting to weaken. Okay, it's weakening. It's moving north of the warm and humid air mass that we have in place, and we should be good to go after this. Or this warning is about to expire, and then it's going to turn into a special weather statement. And here is the special weather statement. I'll turn those on for just a moment there so we can see. Oh, whoops. What did I do? Okay. There we go. So you can see the tan color here. That's where we have the new special weather statement. So, special weather statement is a step below a severe thunderstorm warning. So, you have a severe thunderstorm warning up at the top, and then the step below is a special weather statement. That just means that the storm is strong, but it's not quite severe. Okay. It's not strong enough to be severe. So, that's what I'm saying, Roger. That's what I'm saying, Roger. On Facebook there, he had a good message. But anyway, I mean, this this was not very well anticipated by the weather models, and of course, wasn't really expecting anything this evening. But here we are. We did some severe weather coverage, and then we're just kind of waiting for this particular storm here to exit extreme southeastern Franklin County. Okay, so this includes Sherwood, Tantalon, down into Anderson. Really heavy rainfall is occurring right along State Route 56. And then, of course, we could also be seeing some large hail up to the size of quarters within this thunderstorm. And I could see if, let me see if the Winchester camera is turned the correct way to see the lightning off this storm. I doubt it is, but I'll check it. Okay, I think we're looking off towards the east here. I don't think we're looking in the right direction. I could be wrong. And the Winchester Airport um, weather sensor is offline, unfortunately. So that's why it's not showing anything there. But yeah, we're not looking the correct direction there to see any lightning or anything like that. So we're just kind of running blind here with this severe thunderstorm warning. Thank you, Cody. Hope you're doing well. You give Cody a follow there. PC Storm Trackers if you're over in that area in eastern or in the western Middle Tennessee over there towards the Tennessee River, Perry County, Linden, Lobelville, up into Hickman County, Centerville. Give Cody a follow out there. PC Storm Trackers. He's amazing. He does a great job over there for those folks. All right. Just keeping an eye on stuff right now. I know I'm being fairly quiet. There's just not much to talk about at this moment other than this. Some hail falling right now between Tantale and Sherwood, maybe up to quarter sized. But this is a fairly remote area. Not very many people live here. We're talking about maybe 1,000 folks, at the most, between Tantale and Sherwood and Anderson there along State Route 56. But still, some folks might be watching from that area, and we're going to stay live until it gets out of Franklin County, because that's my that's what I want to do here with Southern Tennessee weather, is give everyone the same level of coverage that I've been giving with Shelbyville weather over the past few years, but now expanded it further to incorporate more areas. I mean, that's why I'm live right now instead of at home in bed, because I want to keep everybody safe. Even the folks in Sherwood and Tantalon. If you're around, I've hiked up from Tantalon up the mountain there, and it's in the middle of nowhere. It's not very much going on up there, but nothing is expected to come into Shelbyville. Faith, you'll be good to go there in Shelbyville. So here's the special weather statement. You see that tan color? That's a JV severe thunderstorm warning. It's not really a severe thunderstorm warning, but it's a strong thunderstorm, and you can see. Let's take this back 30 minutes here, and you can see way back here. This storm was showing, a lot of black colors there, showing where we had some large hail, but then as it came over Fayetteville, it just kind of crapped out. There's no black colors showing up. There's a little bit of pinks, or yeah, a little bit of pinks and purples, but I don't think that's large hail there in on the west side of Fayetteville. And boom, there you go. It's not even There's not any hail falling at all anymore with this thunderstorm. This thunderstorm is completely crapped out. It's down the drain, down the toilet bowl right now with this thunderstorm here. It's not even a thunderstorm; it's a rain shower at this point here on the outskirts of Fayetteville. So, too bad, so sad there with that thunderstorm east of Fayetteville. Just not not much going on there. Thank you, Miss Faith. I appreciate it. Kara, there we don't have really any major chances of power outages or anything like that tonight. These are some stronger storms, but at the same time, um, you know, they're not producing a lot of wind damage, and hail doesn't take out power lines. It's really just the wind and the tornadoes that we're worried about power outages with. So here's the updated radar picture showing the severe thunderstorm here just now east of Tantalon and Sherwood, right on this is South Pittsburgh Mountain Road, coming down through the crossroads and eventually down into South Pittsburgh. But there's some large hail potentially falling here, maybe up to quarter size, but obviously, or honestly, I don't think we're seeing much craziness here. Could have some larger hailstones here and there, but I think overall for this evening we are starting to trend quieter. We're starting to get rid of some of these thunderstorms, and they're just quieting down for the evening. And actually, that is the only severe thunderstorm warning we have in the United States outside of this one. So there's two severe thunderstorm warnings in effect here. There's one in Mississippi, and then our other one is right here. Those are only two severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect for the entire United States right now. It's kind of crazy. Kind of crazy to think about. Now let's see how much rain has fallen with this thunderstorm. Might see an inch. Yeah, almost an inch. Just under an inch of rain there on the outskirts of Sherwood and Tantalon there on the south side there, right between the Alabama state line. Lakeview, South City, maybe up to an inch of rain. So getting a pretty good downpours, getting some good downpours out of this thunderstorm action. But, it's just not as well defined, and not as interesting as these thunderstorms were just a little bit ago. And you can see the lightning strikes are down to 3. About 20-30 minutes ago, we were up to 50 or to 20 or 30 strikes every 5 minutes, and now we're down to 2. Right, so I think we're starting to lose this storm too, and of course it's about to move into Marion County, and that'll be the Chattanooga TV market's problem at that point. But in terms of the winds in this thunderstorm, not much to write home about there. We're not talking about any rotation or anything like that. Again, we're live for a severe thunderstorm warning here for Sherwood, Tantalon, and Anderson in southeastern Franklin County. And this is for the potential of some maybe up to quarter-sized hail. Now, the storm is about to completely exit Franklin County and move into Marion County, Tennessee. And at that point, we will be done for the evening in terms of severe weather coverage. But until then, we're still keeping an eye on things just in case. But we're pretty much done for the evening, at least for us here. And I appreciate y'all tuning in. I know it looks like that I'm in a I'm in a daze right now because I am. I wasn't expecting any of this. I went to go get some food, and I'd already went home, and I was in Tullahoma getting something to eat, and I had to run back up 41 straight back here to my office in Shelbyville to do a live stream. I mean, I was already at home eating my dinner. I was ready to wind down for the evening, and then I saw these storms coming up out of Alabama, and I was like, "Well, I guess I need to keep an eye on things and come back up here." And I'm glad I did because it ended up being live for a good hour or so. But anyway, here, let me do we'll do the past on this storm specifically. I mean, look at how quickly it lost strength here. I mean, it's totally gone. We're not even gonna have any drizzle out of this in a little bit. So I mean, we're going to be clear after this severe thunderstorm warning exits. And actually, the Weather Service just put in the chat room that they're going to completely get rid of the severe thunderstorm warning there for Franklin County, and there it is. So we no longer have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for our area, and that concludes the first severe weather event of 2026 for Southern Middle Tennessee. So thank you guys for tuning in here this evening. I know this was kind of unexpected, but at least we got to talk about some weather, I guess, and hopefully we'll be a little bit more organized for next time because we'll actually know the threat is there. I didn't see this threat really coming to fruition today, but here we are with at least a few scattered severe thunderstorm warnings. But we clear out for tonight, and tomorrow looks absolutely beautiful with highs up in the mid 60s. So we're going to start clearing out and warming up, and we'll start off here we'll end with our 7-day forecast, and we will see you around this time tomorrow for our regular programming and stuff like that. But thank you guys for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed rest of your Thursday evening. Good night.
Accurate local weather without the mainstream hype. You're watching the Southern Tennessee Weather Channel.